This is the 2020 Yale Pro SL. Pro for professional. SL for, I don't know, sexy lock maybe? It's a Z-Wave Plus only smart door lock designed with both security and good looks in mind. What makes it so special? That's what we're here to find out. Stay tuned. Hey smart homers, John Stone, the DIY smart home guy, here with the first video of a smart door lock series. All the results that I'm going to be showing this video are available on my website, DIYsmarthomeguy.com, and below there is a link to a playlist for all of my smart door lock reviews. In full disclosure, Yale did send me this lock for free, but I ain't getting paid, and I'm going to tell you what I really think, so let's get into it. This is the Yale Pro SL Z-Wave Plus Smart Door Lock model YRD156-ZW2 Z-Wave. Holy moly, that's a mouthful. It's a Pro Series lock geared towards professional installers and security companies. It is, however, available on Amazon through select distributors for the DIY crowd. This model provides Z-Wave connectivity only. That means no Zigbee, Wi-Fi, or Bluetooth. The Yale Pro SL comes in 3 finishes, and according to my wife, they are very sexy. The keypad actually made me stand up and take notice. It is very sturdy and has a nice rubber gasket to help prevent water ingress. Yeah, I said ingress. I don't know. The interior plate has these guide pins to help align everything when you're installing. Trust me, this is going to help when you're putting those screws in. The bolt piece of the Deadbolt is of the standard smart lock variety, sporting the chamfered end for a highly reliable locking experience. This helps reduce the odds of a jam when the door isn't aligned properly. Let's cover the main features of the lock itself. The Yale Pro SL is a keyless lock, which means it provides an extra layer of security. It can't be picked and it can't be bumped. There's a 9-volt battery backup port on the bottom of the keypad in the event of an internal battery failure. The lock can hold up to 250 lock codes. That's a lot of freaking codes if you ask me, but it just might be the perfect lock for you Airbnb folk. There's a built-in auto relock option which can be disabled or set up to a duration of up to 3 minutes. Personally, I leave this feature up to my smart home hub to manage. The lock also offers an audio feedback option which plays tones and tunes for lock and unlock, key press, bolt jam, as well as other functions. Now the audio feedback can be turned off, but it is all or nothing. Off means you're not going to get the jam alerts that we're going to talk about in a couple of minutes. You can also disable one-touch locking, and when one-touch locking is disabled, you are forced to enter a valid PIN code to lock from the outside. The upside is you'll always know who locked the door. The downside is it is a pain in the ass. And what is the cost, you ask? I see this around for under $200, but do not be surprised if you see some resellers with some crazy markups. I've seen it come in around $235 to $250, which is redonkulous if you ask me. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Let's get this thing installed. It's also a good idea to check the bolt length. I did waste a few minutes here. To make it longer or shorter, simply turn the bolt barrel to shorten or lengthen. First thing to take note of about the installation is do not put the batteries in before you get this thing installed. Wait until after the lock is fully in your door and you've ensured that the bolt has free movement in the door and into that strike plate. And now that you're installed, it is time to put in the batteries. The first thing you'll need to do is enter a master passcode. And it is up to you to pick what that 4 to 8 digit code is. They don't force it on you. That's kind of nice. Pairing with your Z-Wave hub is pretty simple. Take this little pokey tool and press and hold the configure button. You'll hear a double beep, hold for another second or two, and then release. Give it some time to come into your hub. It is working on syncing the parameters, which includes 250 user codes. I know, right? Once the lock is fully synced, go into your hub and test the lock. And then you're all set. I ran several tests on the lock with hopes of determining the lock reliability, and here is how that went. I created this program in my Habitat Elevation that was able to cycle the lock automatically, and I cycled that lock 2,000 times, meaning 1,000 locks and 1,000 unlock commands. This test recorded each time the command was sent and the corresponding action taken by the lock, sending the information back to the hub. At the end of the test, the lock had cycled 2,000 times and I received 2,000 successful lock and unlock reports. That is 100% over 2,000 tests. And I should mention that all 2,000 were on the original factory batteries that came with the lock in the box. Then I set up 10 user codes and locked and unlocked from the keypad. I cycled through the user codes until I had unlocked the lock 100 times for a total of 200 lock-unlock commands. The hub correctly registered 100 lock commands and 100 user unlocks with the correct user identified. To test for jam alerts, I simply blocked the bolt as it was trying to lock. The lock tried to power through and then it gave this audible warning that it didn't lock. It waited a second and then it tried again. Now, if you have audio feedback turned off like I mentioned earlier, you won't hear the alarm. That's something to think about with this lock. The Yale Pro SL doesn't provide any door close alerts that I can find, since this is a pro-grade lock that's meant to be used with a Z-Wave hub or security system. It's really not that big of a deal. I'm using this contact sensor on my door to provide my door open and close indications. There is also no auto unlock feature on this lock. However, it is a Z-Wave lock and you can get these working through your hub with a little magic, and I will cover that in a different video. The Yale Pro SL has a relatively quiet locking motor. This is in comparison against the Schlage Connect series lock. For power fail testing, I removed the batteries, or at least one of them, and checked the lock with that 9-volt battery. And everything worked as advertised. Overall, I am very impressed with the Yale Pro SL. To be honest, I wasn't expecting to get that 2,200 plus cycles out of a single set of batteries. I was also impressed with how reliable the lock was in terms of sending information back to the hub. The lock is an important part of my smart home, and knowing that it's going to reliably report what's going on, trigger the rules, and lock up when it receives those commands, it's a big deal to me. If you are looking for top-notch security from your smart lock, the Yale Pro SL is a lock to be considered. For an ongoing comparison to other locks I've tested, be sure to check out the comparison page on my website. As always, I'll tell you everything I know, which sometimes ain't a lot. And don't forget to check out the DIY Smart Home Guy Facebook group. It is a great place to ask questions for your particular case. Lots of smart people hang out there. Most of them are smarter than me, but you should hang out there too. Till next time, cheers.